With technology and humanity, we can go further together. Vodacom.
Hi guys, I am Indipilate Kwesha. I'm 15 years old and I am currently doing grade 10 at Sterling High School. So as you can see here, I am a finalist for Miss Teenager South Africa 2020, which is now 2020 and 2021. So as most of you know, I am a pageant princess and I have entered multiple pageants from when I was 10 years old to my age today. So today our main focus is going to be on the different types of pageants there are and the different modeling careers you can get into, whether it's runway modeling or pageantry, like I mentioned before. So runway is your high-end Kendall Jenner modeling, where it's not about you, it's about the designer and the clothes you're wearing for the designer. So runway is not about you at all. But as for pageantry, pageantry is about what you have to bring to the platform, the change you're gonna make with the crown and the sash. Because I've noticed most people actually enter pageants because firstly, they want that title of I'm a finalist for this type of pageant, or I'm a title holder for this type of pageant, but they don't actually have passion behind the whole industry as a whole. Because with pageants, you need to be a person who's in it with other people. So you need to be the change you wish to see in your community, make a difference, and when I say make a difference, I mean with children your age, the youth, and even inspire people older than you. Because we live in a day and age where our youth is not like the youth of 1976, but our youth is more at an advantage because we live in our ancestors' wildest dreams. So we have more opportunities, but personally, I feel like the youth isn't making the most out of them. So when entering pageants, you encourage people to dream, like have a reason behind why am I going to do this? Why am I going to enter this? Because if you have a reason behind it, no matter the obstacles you face, you know where you're headed towards. So yes, there will be obstacles along the way, but you will get through everything because you know, I am passionate about this and this, I want to be this and this and make a change in someone and so's life. So I am doing this, I don't care who says what. Their opinion about me is their opinion, I have my opinion about myself and what I'm doing. So that's the type of mentality you need to have when you finally decide, okay, I am going to enter this pageant because I am an anti-gender-based violence activist and I want a greater platform to be an activist about gender-based violence. So that's basically what pageantry is. As for runway is walking, just walking actually. And runway isn't as intense as pageantry, but it is also quite intense because with runway, we still live in a society where there is a perspective of how models are supposed to look, whether it's tall and not short, skinny and not a size 38, and sometimes, well, in most cases, you can't be too black or you can't be too white. If you're black, you can be black, but you can't be too white. And if you're white, you need to look pale, is what they imply. So you can't be a lighter shade of what white people are supposed to look like. So that's the type of mindset is around runway modeling. But as the youth of today, also known as Gen Z, we're here to make a difference, right? And change all the stereotypical views that are in society. So starting with that, for instance, with the mindset around what models are supposed to look like. So we break that stigma and bring change. So this all sums up how you're doing something for a reason and you want to make something better out of it. And that's just modeling and the two different types of modeling. What you can get from modeling in the future or even now, firstly, because most children in our generation don't have confidence. Most children are suicidal and they think they won't amount to anything. So modeling teaches you about how to love yourself, about how beauty isn't just your outside appearance, but also what's in the inside. Because often when someone asks me, what is your definition of beauty? I always tell them I don't define beauty because there are different types of beauty because we are all different. We will never be the same. We all have our unique, we have our insecurities and everything. So you can't really say beauty is this and this because not everyone is this and this. Someone can be a different version of what your idea of beauty is. So you can't really define beauty because we are all different. And so with confidence, with what pageants teach you, confidence, self-love, like I mentioned. And what I've noticed is, well, my mom often tells me this, that when she interviews children to come for work at the place she works, often people don't know how to introduce themselves, they don't know what they're here for, and they don't know the actual work they're going to do. So she always tells me that modeling is actually a good platform to help you in interviews in the future, because in all jobs you want to be a part of, you have to take interviews. And the main and most important question that will always be asked in an interview is, tell us about yourself. And she often says people don't know themselves. So with pageants, you learn how to speak in public, not even in public, but when given the opportunity and platform to speak about whatever it is that you stand for, actually I'm confident enough to stand up for this and that, so I am going to do it. So that all sums up confidence and what modeling gives you in the future. And with modeling, with pageantry, there's always the stigma of that guys can't enter beauty pageants because they're considered gay or whatever, because it's a female thing, which is all part of toxic masculinity, because beauty pageants aren't just about women walking down the runway. Men can also walk down the runway, because the world doesn't just have female clothing to advertise, there's also male clothing to advertise. And because females, I for one am guilty of this, females always say, if a man can do this, why can't females do it? So if females can do pageants, why can't males do it? So with everything, with gender inequality, it always goes vice versa. And in most cases, people often neglect the fact that men live under such high expectations of what their physique should be like, just in general, that they are expected to be this type of way because they are men. Just like women are expected to be this type of way because they are women, which is gender inequality. Because when the difference between your gender and your sex is that Your sex is who you are when you're born, whether you're a girl and boy or a boy. And then your gender is what society expects you to be because of what you are, because of your sex. It's all stereotypical ideas. And with pageantry, when wanting to enter pageants, it's not all pageants, but some organizations always want you to send a picture of yourself. So that picture in most cases will be the picture that represents you throughout the whole competition. So with those pictures, I cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure you look your best, because you don't want the ugliest picture of you being posted all over social media platforms and you're like, I don't like this, I want to change. It will not be changed. That's how all pageants work. It is not about you. It is about you, but in that type of situation, that is not about you. And when entering pageants, there's a lot of things you need to keep in mind of. I don't know if you guys know, but last year, in 2020, there's a girl who entered Miss SA. This girl, apparently, I think she was like 14 years old back then. She sent a VN to a friend about how black people will never amount to anything. So she was being racist. And then 5 years down the line, she enters Miss SA. So that VN she sent to a friend still caught up with her 5 years later. With that being said, I'm basically saying, be careful of what you say and what you post on social media, because your social media accounts are a reflection of who you are. So if you're posting videos of you at 2 a.m. in a club, that's what me as an organization will think of you. But if you post videos or pictures of you, I don't know, reading at the beach or whatever, I will consider you as a very calm person. So what you post on social media is very important, because it paints, for people who don't know you, it paints a type of perspective of what, okay, this person is this type of person because of what they've posted on social media. Because at the end, our social media accounts are supposed to be about us. That is why people will think what you post on social media is who you are. When walking in modeling, the runway walk is different from the pageant walk. When you walk in runway, you walk the same way, but the way you stand is different. So when you're standing, your feet need to be apart, but posture and everything else stays the same. So your feet are apart, and unlike pageantry, you don't do a T-turn at the top. You just walk to the top and back, and that's it. But as for pageantry, it's a bit intense because you need to involve twists and turns, and with those twists and turns, you need to be careful, because sometimes you could be wearing a ballroom dress where if you turn the wrong way, you could fall and maybe injure yourself. So with the pageant walk, your one leg, when you're standing, your one leg needs to be in front of the other one. So you're standing and your one leg is in front of the other one. You count in your head 5, 6, 7, 8. For pageant walk, you need to smile. You absolutely need to smile, because you just need to smile. I don't even know how to explain it. I've just been taught this way. You need to smile. And for runway, you smile depending on what type of piece of clothing you're wearing. Because let's say you're wearing a suit and heels or whatever. Let's say you're wearing a suit. When you wear a suit, I feel like you need to have that type of fierce look. So you can smile if you want to, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think not smiling would be better. I would recommend not smiling because it just adds that extra effect to it. And with the pageant walk, at the T ramp, at the top of the T ramp, you need, when you're standing, you need to look at each judge in their eyes for, let's say there's 4 judges. Spend at least 2 seconds looking at the judge's eyes. So yes, they need to feel that thing, okay, this child is confident. They can make eye contact. They don't just look at the back of our heads because they're too scared to look at us. So that's what judges need to feel when you're standing at the end of the ramp looking at them. And when you're at the end of the ramp, there's a T-cross for pageantry walk, right? So you're standing, you walk from the beginning, you walk towards the end, and when you get to the end, you count at least like 5 seconds. You walk to the right, and when you walk to the right, you need to do a 30-degree turn. So this 30-degree turn is when you're walking towards the side of the ramp, but you turn around to face the judges, but at an angle. Not exactly facing them, but it's just at a like 90-degree angle. So after you do that, you also count 5 seconds in your head, and then move to the left end of the ramp and also do the exact same thing. After that, you just walk towards the back of the ramp, and that's it for pageantry walk. And with pageants, you also need to keep in mind that there's going to be 2 categories with it's going to be your formal wear and your casual wear. For your casual wear, your walk needs to be faster than your formal wear because it's not really petite and elegant, it's just you walking. But with your formal wear, it's basically you need to look like a princess. You need to look and feel like a princess. So you need to walk slowly, take your time, be confident, take your time on the ramp. Do whatever you want, just make sure your walk is not too slow, nor is it too fast. And for guys, when walking in pageants, for guys when with the pageant walk and the runway walk, it's basically the same thing, but the only difference with the guys is that when they're at the top, for girls when turning for runway walk, they have to turn their feet to the right and then take a step. But as for guys, they can just take a step and leave. So let's say a guy is walking with a girl. The guy needs to make his step longer so he can wait for the girl to catch up, so they walk on the same pace and look synchronized. And that is it for runway and pageantry walking. We're all here to build self-confidence and to gain more knowledge about modeling, just modeling in general.
Kudalo hlelo lila ayubomi abulungi kodwa wena uyindlovu ujongene nexesha alijiki alihambi kodwa wena uyindlovu ujongene nexesha alijiki alihambi kodwa wena uyindlovu ubuhlungu naphakathi ayikunzima nokuncuma ayamandla wasekho ukhanyisele mntasekhaya lifikile lakwithuba ngoba wena uyindlovu babelela ninisela uzophumelela uzophumelela babelela ninisela uzophumelela uzophumelela babelela ninisela
With technology and humanity, we can go further together. Vodacom.